Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne, and today we're going to be doing part 4 of the Sprueverse challenge of build the 1960s time machine. Now, to get to the stage that we're up to here, and I'm not going to show you any close-ups or anything of this stage where we're up to now, I'm going to do that for the reveal. It took a lot of pain, and I'm telling you what, it's the amount of work I've had to go through was pretty impossible for me to film every single thing. So what I decided to do was just make a sort of video log of everything that I'm doing at the time. Now, I know that Phil and Lou have both got their part 4 videos up at the moment, and at the end of the channel, once again, you'll be able to link to their channels through the little icons that link to their YouTube channel, and you'll also see their latest videos there for you to click onto as well. But I want to tell you what I've been up to. I'm now at the stage, I believe, where I'm ready to install the disc, but I don't have the disc at the moment. This is the disc that came with it, and I'll talk about a little bit more about that at the end of this video. But let me just show you what we've been up to. Okay, this is me documenting this because this is actually working. So we've got the control meter all wired in, control box. We have got the motor all wired in, battery, motor driver, just a little junction point. All of this area here I'm not really too worried about because I connect that afterwards. This is the thing I want to make sure works. So when I turn it on, as you can see, the date light's on and the brake light's on over there. So now I'm going to just turn the pot meter a little bit, and as you can see, the lights are flashing. Now the console lights are on, that's one side, and the other side is over there. I haven't connected it yet. The motor is going quite slow, but it's got some high torque, that motor, I've checked that. And then we've got the side lights on at the back, and obviously the brake lights turned off. And then when we go fast, I don't know if you heard the motor go up there, obviously that's going faster. All the lights that were on previously still on, but the motor, as you can see, is going a lot faster. And then when I put it back to the off position, which I'll need two hands for this, because I've got the lever in. There we go. Obviously the side lights of the console is turned off, the brake lights on, and once again the date light's still on there. If I go the other way, it does exactly the same things. Slow, motor's working, side lights on, brake light turned off, and then fast, motor spinning faster, console lights on, brake light still off. And then last but not least, turn this back to off. There we go. Brake lights on, date lights on. Success. So as you can see, for my own benefit, I just wanted to make sure all the electrics were working so that if something happens and they don't work, at least I can say at one point they did work. But then I just continued making a video log. Okay, this is like a video log now. Now, I alluded to this on the live stream, but there's going to come a time in this build where we've got to pass a point of no return. And with the electrics, it means sealing up the control panel, which I've just done. Touch wood, everything works. Let me show you. Now, the reason it's covered in dust at the moment is because I had to shave the inside of this to get that side down. And I haven't obviously plugged this side in yet. But that is now sealed, both sides. Would you like to see it working? Got the control box here. And there we go. That's all working there. If I get my little, oops, finger out the way. If I get my little cocktail stick here, we can turn it higher. And we can turn it off. As you see, that's turned off. Turn it back on. We're good to go. There's the cone lights at the back. But that was the hardest job to do. And oh my God, that's taken me half a day. So, gonna let this glue dry, and then I will work on installing this onto the base. It's about 30 degrees outside. So obviously that's all working. I'm not too worried about the back because when that's in place, I'm going to have loads of room actually spare to actually muck around with the wires. And I know all the wires are working. It's just having all of that sealed in there, which is the thing. So it's basically a case of putting everything together. Now, I've got a lot of faith in my motor here. That's where that's going, looking good. There's the springs that I've already wound, ready to go. Now that motor is working at the moment, but hopefully it will work and it will be able to drive the disc when I get the disc. I haven't got that yet. And obviously the cone lights are going on the back there as well. I've already put in one side of the rails. So it's basically a case of putting everything together. I mean, it's really coming together now. And it would be a shame, I tell you, if this stops working. But at least at this point, everything was working. Okay, the next sort of cock-up that I've made is I've painted this gold, which eventually is going to be that colour, but there is some details that need to go around the edge. Now, they have provided some decals for that, but if I'm being honest, they're not very good. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to paint this green, put the vinyl sort of like strips that I've got on, which you normally use for masking really fine areas, a bit like detailing cars as well, and then I'll paint it gold, and we should have our lines all around this. So back in the workshop, as you can see, I've masked all of that off now. Now these do need really masking off, but I think I'm going to paint them gold and then just paint the tops green, because these are going to be green at the back, but the little flowers at the front are this gold colour. Once again, I'm using my Tamiya TS21 gold. So there you go, that's all painted. I'm going to let that dry and then I'll take the masking off and we'll have a look how that looks. Okay, this is one of those moments where things are just starting to come together and I'm so happy. Still got to put the little cones in here, haven't done that yet, or the ring that goes around the side. What I have done is put power and battery in there. It's all operated by a switch there, as you can see. So let's do the switch. And as you can see, we're not moving. The brake light turned on. And we've got the date light on there as well. So when I push this, let's go back in time. As you can see, we've got the light flashing. The brake light's turned off. The cones are on. And more importantly, the motor is spinning. If we go faster, I don't know if you heard that pick up. That's as fast as the motor goes. The lights are flashing and the cones are on. And then finally, if I turn that all off, hopefully the brake light should turn on. There you go. Perfect. So, I think we'll leave it there. So as you can see in that little test at the end, I hadn't actually put the back down. That was just sitting on there. I hadn't put the cones on. I hadn't actually done a lot. This rim here wasn't on. But I just wanted to ensure that the electrics, the amount of times that I have to check the electrics are still working, I'm just scared that I'm going to nudge it and something's going to happen, which is not good. But since that point there where I left the video, what I have done is I've actually put some power in it. So we've actually got a battery power pack and I can plug it in. So I can do both things if I wanted to. And I've also created these little coils that go either side of this control tower around this brake light here. I did a little video, I've just shown you how I made them. Okay, it's a nice day today, so I thought I will show you how I'm doing the coils on the time machine here. So what I do is I take one of the ends of wire and I just wrap it round just to hold it in place like that. And then what I do is I start to wrap it round like a spring, going really tight on the wire here until I'm halfway down this little cocktail stick I've got here. I think the cocktail stick's probably the right sort of width. Try to keep the spacing exactly the same there. So just keep going till about there. And then what I do is I just loosen the end up here. And then I want to, once I can feel this cocktail stick move it further down like that. There you go. And then just continue. It's like knitting really, isn't it? So just keep going. Don't do it all the way to the end, otherwise you're never going to get the cocktail stick out. Keep going round. One more. And then once again, move the cocktail stick. And I do that for the whole length of this wire. And I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. And to give you an idea of how this looks, obviously I haven't got the shaft on there, but this is going to go into the back kind of like that. And you get the idea. But I mean, it's going to be fun to actually make this. Now, my disc that I had was warped, and thank God Lou Dalmaso from AZTEK Dummies actually 3D printed one, and it's winging its way here. I think it was posted on something like the 28th of June, and at the moment it arrived in Heathrow in London on the 4th of July. Who knows where it is at the moment. So in the meantime, because I knew I wasn't going to be using this, and a lot of people have been suggesting turning this into a clock on Lou's channel, this is the rod that's going to plug into the motor at the back. This is the bracket, which is going to go onto the disc, and I do have another section which we call in the bowling pin, which just goes between the motor and the disc. It sort of spaces it out. But my disc had a major warp in it. So the great Phil Segal, I said to him this is going to be a funny story, suggested if you put some hot water in it, you'll get the warp out. And I thought to myself, if I put boiling water in it, it would get it out even quicker. And honestly, it turned into a pancake. The thing went completely flat. Completely flat. So at the moment, it looks more like a cymbal than a dome now, as you can see. But I don't think it did too bad getting that warp out. Before, I used to have a real big wobble. I've only got a little wobble now, as you can see. So there's always this. Oh, I've just moved it off the thing. There's always this option, should the other disc don't work. But I'm counting on Lou's disc. But that is going to be kind of like the speed it spins at, just so you know. My motor's not very fast. The fastest is going to be spinning probably about that fast. And the slowest probably about that far. Not that far, a bit faster. That's probably about the slowest. So, there you go. I've got my symbol of a dish. I mean, it don't look too bad, actually, but it does have a more symbol shape now. But let that be a lesson to you. Don't rush things. So, boiling water and resin do not mix. But there we go. So that is my update. Now, I believe in the next video, I'll be ready for the reveal. I'm sure that Phil and Lou are probably in the same states as well. We've all got to sort out the engineering to get the disc spinning. I'll tell you, that's the stage that we're both at the moment. Both at? All three of us are at. Because we're a try. We're like the Three Musketeers. All three of us are at that stage, and I'm sure it's given us sleepless nights. But I hope you like that update, and I really do hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.